Welcome to another episode of the Bulldog Business Show. I'm Scott Grawe, Dean of the College of Business and your host for this show. Today we are thrilled to welcome Charlie Davidson. He's IT Operations Manager at PACCAR Engine Company. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Scott. I appreciate you. Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, no problem. Well, let's start off. Just tell us a little about yourself.
Okay. Charlie Davidson. I'm local. I'm here from West Point, Mississippi, so a little north of Starkville, within the Golden Triangle. I'm the IT Operations Manager at PACCAR Engine Company. I've been there almost 4 years in March. Same role, all with 4 years with the company. Before PACCAR, I did some time at Yokohama. I manage a team that kind of supports and implements the infrastructure side of IT at our facility for both the production, manufacturing aspect of the company as well as for the day-to-day run of business. So yeah, glad, happy to be here.
Great. So I'm going to back up just a little bit. Tell me a little bit about why did you pick Mississippi State? What was it about Mississippi State? You mentioned growing up in West Point.
Yep.
Was it always just a foregone conclusion, or?
Unfortunately, not. A lot of people around this area grew up coming to Mississippi State football games, baseball games, basketball games. For me, my mom was an educator, so it was always, not an option to finish at my high school level. It was to go to college. Only thing that I knew about Mississippi State growing up, I had a couple brothers, older brothers that had a PlayStation, and they would get the NCAA football game. And I got a brother that's 14 months younger than me, and we'd play the game. And Mississippi State would be local, so it was like, hey, let's cool. Let's play with them on the game. So upon graduating, going to a 2-year college was not an option as well. I was close to my brother. Got some scholarships at Mississippi State. So I was like, why not? And just ended up here.
Great. Well, we're thrilled that you did. So, so as you think about, where you're at today in your career, are there any memorable moments from your time at Mississippi State that impacted your career path?
Yes, for sure. So upon coming to Mississippi State, I first declared as a manufacturing engineer. That didn't work out as planned. Next, I changed my major to architecture. I grew up with my grandmother a lot. Used to draw, love drawing. You like to do stuff with my hands. Come to find out, architecture has nothing to do with your hands. It's all about designing stuff. So did a semester there, and we have a pretty lengthy architecture program here, and that didn't align with my plans of what I wanted to do career-wise, because I wanted to hurry up and start working, making money. So I had a conversation with my brother. He was already exposed to the College of Business as an international business student, and he knew that I was kind of a techie guy. I didn't grow up around IT professionals or anything like that, but I was the guy that hooked up the VCRs, the DVD players, and he said, try the BIS major out, and that is the most memorable, thing that it kind of shot my career off in terms of pivoting into BIS, and everything got to me where I am now.
Okay, good. Your story of changing majors is not unique. We see that a lot. Right. You and I were talking a little bit pre-show. I started off pre-med, and I did not end up that kind of a doctor.
Yes.
Much different now. So as you think about your career and where you're at, what are some of the biggest challenges you faced starting out?
One of the biggest challenges was, like I mentioned, not growing up around an IT professional, not being exposed to IT like a lot of the people that do end up majoring in IT. So when I first graduated, all I had was kind of the foundational education from school that I learned. When I hit the real world, just getting acclimated to all of the different applications, the real work environment, the issues, because I came in as an entry-level desktop support guy, and I had never worked on printers. I had never taken apart a computer, put it back together, or built my own computer system. So all of that was new to me. Troubleshooting issues were new. So Google was my best resource, and just relying on other employees within the IT or within our organization and kind of learning. So yeah, that was the biggest challenge, just learning how things go in the real world outside of just school.
Oh yeah, definitely. So you grown up in Mississippi, not far from Starkville. You graduate, you've got this career started here in Mississippi. Did you always know you wanted to stay here in Mississippi?
No, No, hadn't been anything, because I haven't been around like out in the world to even know what's out there. So it wasn't anything that was like, yeah, I got to get out of Mississippi. I guess my biggest thing, I just wanted to go wherever the opportunities were.
Yeah.
And upon graduating, throughout the career days and career fairs in IT, you got companies that coming from all over. It just so happened, I initially ended up, my brother, which I've mentioned, he had already been doing internships at Garin here in Starkville in the accounting department. So after I graduated, of course, I was looking for a job, and they had an IT position open there. And right out of, I think I walked the stage, and like probably the following week, I was doing orientation. So it just so happened that my first opportunity that came up was local.
Great. Well, we're going to pause this conversation right here, and we're going to be right back. So stay tuned. We'll come right back with more of the Bulldog Business Show.
Mississippi State University's College of Business creates connections that can change lives, with more than $2 million available in scholarships next year. Take advantage of the top research institution in the state. Professors have practical experience in their field, and students have the opportunity to work on live projects with partner companies. Earn your MBA online in as few as 10 courses from U.S. News & World Report's Top 100 program. Give your business career a head start. Visit business.msstate.edu to learn more.
Welcome back to the Bulldog Business Show and our conversation with Charlie Davidson. So we're thrilled to continue our conversation.
Yes, sir.
One of the questions that I like to ask our alumni is, how do you stay connected to not just Mississippi State University, but I'm really passionate about making sure our alumni stay connected to the College of Business. How do you do that?
So recently, upon coming to PACCAR, as a manager, I was responsible for recruiting within our department. So one of the things I started doing was getting involved with our HR department and going to the recruiting events. And Mississippi State has a huge talent pool that we're trying to take advantage of. So one of the things, recruiting events, I try to come to career fairs, career days. I'm a BIS major, so I was recently on campus a couple weeks ago for the first BIS, I think they called it Career Day or something like that. And also what I've now been able to take advantage was joining the MIS Advisory Board.
Yes.
Yes. So I was able to join that this past fall, and it's just another opportunity to connect with the students, bring my experience and be able to talk to them about what I went through during college, as well as kind of give them some insight to the professional world and kind of help them navigate and, hopefully come work at a place like PACCAR.
Yeah. So you've had a chance to, obviously as a part of the advisory board, you get a chance to engage with the department head and some of the faculty, but you also get a chance to see some of our students.
Yes.
And you see students, whether they be interns or new hires coming in to PACCAR as well. What are some of the key skills and attributes that students need today to be successful if they were to walk into PACCAR and want to make something of their career?
Most important skills, I would say, is just those tangible soft skills. Being able to communicate, being able to collaborate, being comfortable with being a team member and teamwork. A lot of kids that I've seen throughout my career, they'll come with the education and the IT backgrounds and all of that, but and from other universities have not been exposed to those soft skills. I've always tell the kids when I'm on recruiting events, if you've been to school, we can look at curriculums and we can kind of fact check you to see, how much you've really learned and retained. But if you come in with those soft skills and, you're a really good fit on the team, we can teach you everything about the organization. So if you got a good foundation and you got those soft skills, it'll get you a lot farther, a lot quicker than it would if you were coming in and then having to develop those skills. And that's one thing I think Mississippi State does a great job, is just developing overall soft skills throughout their various curriculums and projects and everything throughout their college career.
Yeah, and this is where I'll give our department heads and our advisory boards a lot of credit, doing things like speed interviews and other type of networking events to give the students the practice and the immediate feedback to what they're doing well as they prepare.
Very beneficial.
Yeah,
very.
Good. So how did Mississippi State influence your approach to leadership in your current role?
I guess the biggest thing is diversity. Mississippi State is very diverse in terms of the population, student population. When you get out in the business world, you know, everybody's different. As a manager, I manage a team of 10 individuals, and they all have different personalities, different, you know, reasons for why they want to come to work, different drive, different work ethics. And, you know, you got to be able to connect and meet people where they are and being able to understand and, you know, and be empathetic. And that's one of the things I learned at Mississippi State. I was working and doing projects with people that didn't grow up around in the Golden Triangle.
Right.
So I was exposed to people that thought different from me, that had been exposed to stuff that I hadn't been exposed to, and vice versa. So just going through the motion at State and being able to go through the different efforts of collaboration, it kind of shaped my, you know, mindset and thought process and translate it to the real world.
Good, good. Well, do you have any final advice for students who might be, you know, watching or listening to this podcast or video?
Yeah, just be open to learn, be open to opportunity, be open to sacrifice. Everything is not going to go the way that you've planned or you expect it to go, but at the same time, you can use everything as an opportunity, and just keep building on that. And relationships are key. Really huge in relationships.
Yeah, we cannot underscore that enough. So that's definitely a key thing in managing a career in any type of business. So thank you, and thank you for your comments on that. So before we close out this episode of the Bulldog Business Show, I just want to let everybody know, if you are an alum, or even if you're not an alum, but you're looking for a way to, you know, give back and connect with the current Bulldogs and other Bulldog alumni, we've just rolled out Club 1915. Club 1915 is an opportunity for our alums to join a group that's going to allow them to connect with other Bulldog alumni, other business Bulldogs, to grow their networks, find new career opportunities, but also help our current students with experiential learning opportunities, expanding and improving the learning spaces in McCool Hall. If you're interested in learning more about Club 1915, check it out on our website, business.msstate.edu. You're going to hear a lot more about it as we head into 2025. 2025 is the 110th anniversary of the College of Business here at Mississippi State University, and we are extremely excited for all that we have in store in the course of the next year. So thanks for joining us for another Bulldog Business Show. As always, do not forget to follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, and anywhere else that you find podcasts. After you find that, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks again for watching, and we look forward to seeing you again next time.